This is a Kodak Charmera keychain camera. And this is Cancun, Mexico. We traveled to one of the most beautiful beaches in the world to capture its beauty through a 1.6 megapixel toy camera. Over the next 5 days, we took this thing everywhere. Ancient ruins, hidden cenotes, swimming with turtles, even the easternmost point of Mexico. By the time we got back home, we had over 600 photos to sort through. Some were incredible, some were questionable, and some I genuinely don't remember taking. But this video isn't about just the photos, it's about the adventure behind them. So here's what happens when you trade your DSLR for a $35 keychain camera.
Alright, it's a Mexican peanut.
The Charmera boasts a 1.6 megapixel resolution, with tiny screen, no zoom, and basically zero control over what you're doing. You just point, click, and hope for the best. The sensor is so small the camera is basically guessing what the photos should look like, but it does claim to film in 1080p. It's so small you have to have a very steady hand or every video will just be a shaky mess. Luckily, we are filming everything on our action camera so you won't end up with motion sickness. We were fortunate enough to get a great deal on the Royalton CHIC, all-inclusive, near the top of the hotel zone in Cancun. The Royalton offers 5 restaurants on property, perfect for the 5 days we spent here. And on our first night, we are starting off with the best one, Hunter's Steakhouse.
Do you know our room number?
No, I don't.
Let me look at my app real quick.
21257.
No, 21271. Or two. Hold on, I'm looking in the app. Yeah, yes. Savage. Did I get it right?
This is where we encountered our first problem, and I'm not talking about us not remembering our very confusing room number. The field of view is quite small on the camera, so you have to be further from your subject than you think, or else you'll end up with photos like this. Let's check out the food. We started off with bread. My appetizer was... Maybe our main course will look better.
Nope.
Problem number 2. Low light for this camera is non-existent. Here's what our food actually looked like. I ordered a quarter head of lettuce with ranch and bacon. My main was a very delicious roast beef, and Paul had a New York strip. This was the only restaurant in our hotel that offered mac and cheese. Just thought I should mention that. Delicious dinner, not so great first impressions of the Charmera. We'll have to wait until morning to test out the Charmera's daytime capabilities. Good morning. We've grabbed our coffee and are ready to go explore Cancun. We have 2 main goals for day 2. Goal number 1 is to get my Hard Rock Cancun t-shirt. They're closed. They've been closed for over a year. But we did find this giant croc that's pretty cool.
Gross. Why would they make that choice?
You could lay in it if you wanted to, but that would be gross. It'd be pretty funny.
No, you can't lay on it. Don't climb on it because there can be damage.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
this is the area where a lot of tourist traps are. They have senior frogs, Coco Bongo, as well as a lot of souvenir shops. Goal number 2 is to go to the lighthouse at the easternmost point in Mexico. It's a bit tricky getting here because of all the property around it is owned by Hyatt and they do not let you walk through the hotel. But by Mexican law, the beaches are all public, so we just had to walk a quarter mile down to the public access and then trek back up the beach. But you can't complain when the walk is this beautiful.
Doing a flip.
And then we made it. The easternmost point in mainland Mexico.
Made it to the easternmost point of mainland Mexico. I don't know if I want to walk out there or not yet. can't really say I've been to the easternmost point if I don't walk out there. These rocks are crazy. Nah, this is as far as I'm going. I'm not getting wet.
This is the perfect spot to test out the Charmera, so we tested some of the 7 filters that are preloaded onto the camera. The up and down arrow keys cycle through all of the filters, and it shows them on the very tiny screen. The field of view makes selfies especially difficult. After exploring the tip of the peninsula, we continued our walk around the Hyatt property where we spotted our first of many iguanas. The Charmera doesn't do great at wildlife photography. We also found a completely empty Cancun sign. On our way to the hotel from the airport, we passed by Dolphin Beach, where there was a Cancun sign very similar to this one. It was extremely popular with a line down the street. This sign, no line. No people, just an iguana and a weird couple using a toy camera. There's also some Mayan ruins by the sign.
Oh yeah, it's Mayan civilization.
We pushed on to the end of the Hyatt property, where we were once again turned away from entering the hotel. But that's okay, we found these really crazy breakwaters.
Perfect.
The hotel right next to the Hyatt let us cut through their lobby to get to the street, so shout out to the Crystal Grand, which is also an all-inclusive and has this beautiful atrium inside. We grabbed some souvenirs and headed back to our hotel just to relax by the pools and explore the rest of the hotel. We grabbed some dinner and saw a live show before calling it a night. Day 3 is our big one. We planned an excursion to take us to Tulum Ruins, Akumal sea turtles, and a cenote to finish off the day. We had to be up bright and early to catch our ride to the first stop, the Tulum archaeological site. The entrance incorporates a beautiful jungle aesthetic with a big Mexico sign directly in the middle of everything. There was a line for pictures in front of the sign, and we didn't want to hold up the group, so we just settled for a picture of the back. But I can just reverse the image and voila, looks legit. From here, we were shuffled onto a tram that took us down a long pathway into the site. Along the way, we passed by exposed layers of limestone that makes up much of the Yucatan Peninsula, as well as the temples themselves. We crossed over the highway that stretches south from Cancun and were dropped off right by the ancient city walls. Tulum is actually one of the few walled Mayan cities, with thick limestone walls built on 3 sides, and steep cliffs overlooking the Caribbean acting as the 4th wall to protect it from invaders. Once we were actually at the wall, we met up with an expert historian of the city to tell us more about the Mayan culture as well as the significance of the city itself. Tulum was one of the last cities built and inhabited by the Mayan civilization, thriving from around 1200 to 1500 AD, right up to the time of the Spanish contact. But as we enter the tunnel into the city, it opens up to a vast number of buildings, each serving a unique purpose that our guide talked extensively about. Unfortunately, I can't remember too many of them. I do remember a very fascinating fact. This is the Temple of the Descending God. During the winter solstice, the rising sun perfectly lines up with the opening in the temple, making us wonder how did they manage to do that. And this isn't the only ancient structure that lines up with the sun. Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and even Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is the most well-known pyramid in Mexico, but I was surprised to learn that it also lines up with the equinoxes, creating a shadow that looks like a serpent slithering down the stairs. We chose to explore Tulum rather than Chichen Itza for one major reason. Tulum was built right on the coast. The views are absolutely incredible. This is El Castillo, or the castle. It is the most iconic structure in Tulum, and once used as a lighthouse to guide ancient Mayan traders safely through the coral reef just offshore. We enjoy history quite a bit, so this is very intriguing for us, but what really caught our eye is all of the iguanas. Iguanas in the grass, iguanas in the bushes, iguanas all over the temples. They are very docile and mostly harmless, just be careful not to step on them. Alright, our next stop is Akumal Turtle Sanctuary. Unfortunately, the Charmera is not waterproof, although I haven't actually tested that theory. But we left the Kodaks in the van, so I'm just jumping straight to the beach.
It's insanely bright. I cannot see anything.
We hopped in a boat and were rushed out to the ocean where there is a small gap in the reef.
So friends, remember I told you this was a...
3, 2, 1, let's go! Fly! Wow! Gracias, Capi.
The actual coral reef is roped off for preservation, but we were able to swim directly next to it heading back towards the beach. Sea turtles have been coming here for centuries to munch on the seagrass, so it was very easy to spot them once we got past the coral reef. This activity was best to do in the early morning due to the large crowds. But we were here midday, and it was somewhat difficult to fight the current and keep a safe distance from the turtles with the crowds. We got lucky and had a turtle come up for air right in front of us, making this an unforgettable moment.
Going back up. Don't move, Fred. There you go.
Our last stop of the day is Parque de Cenotes Yax-Muul. From what I could gather, the Cenote Park is a private operation that is frequented by tour guide companies. Stepping down into the cenote felt like stepping into another world. One minute we are standing in the jungle, and the next we are jumping into crystal clear water hidden beneath the earth. It was quiet and peaceful, a perfect end to the day.
Look down too. Alright, what does this remind you of?
River Cavern.
home away from home here in Mexico.
After swimming, we were treated to some pretty decent tacos, and Paul snuck off to explore a little bit more of the property on the way to the bathroom. And finally, we exited through the gift shop where we got to sample some Mexican peanuts.
Mucha proteína.
Oh, you're red.
Yeah, I'm so burned.
Alright, it's a Mexican peanut.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
That color. Here, take mine.
I don't want it either.
It was a very fun and busy day, so for our final full day in Mexico, we decided to walk down to La Isla Cancun, a popular outdoor mall in the heart of the hotel zone. I'll show the photos while I give our review on the Kodak Charmera. This camera was actually so fun. I'm sure it helps that we were exploring paradise, but it was exciting to get back to the hotel at the end of the day to look through all of the photos we took. Modern photos and videos take up so much storage, it is nice to go back to a time when photos were only a few hundred kilobytes and not every little blemish or detail is shown. The Charmera does overheat frequently, but just give it a minute or two and it will turn back on. The camera is wildly unpredictable. You never know if your photo is going to be completely blown out of focus, or your subject is barely in the frame. But that makes getting a perfect photo that much more exciting. It's also pretty easy to get photos off the camera. Thanks for watching. We are traveling halfway across the world next, so see you then.